I'm gonna resist the urge to start with a British accent because I'm not as talented as Renee Zellweger. But you are here. You know where you are. You clicked on the show. It's the franchise. That's a podcast where we talk about movie franchises, run through them all, movie by movie. And today we're starting a jaunt through the world of Bridget Jones and her diary and her Edge of Reason, one of the worst movie titles of all time. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg, and I like Bridget Jones just the way she is too, but I don't get any props for it ever. And over there is Logan Adair. How are you, buddy? You're watching for the first time, aren't you?
For the first time, I'm watching
Oh
Bridget
no.
Jones, and I'm loving it. Every second of it.
Yeah.
No, I won't do it either. These are fun. I'm having a nice time. I like her just the way she is too, but we don't really she doesn't really care about that with us.
No,
Same way.
she really has a negative self-image, Logan. And I'd like to build her up, but she that this was a long time ago. When I was 15, this was like a few months. Oh, actually, this came out less than a month after 9/11.
Wow.
And she was like, I'm not in her league. She's looking at Colin Firth and Hugh Grant here. How do you feel bad about yourself when those are the guys fighting over you?
It's sort of true when you think about it that way. I don't buy her relationship. Was it a thing in movies where you just needed like one thing to hold on to? I feel like they don't talk the whole movie. And then at the end of the movie, she's like, one time you told me this thing, and now you're nice to me after not being mean. So now I
Well,
love you.
she sort of runs into him a few times over the
I
course
know, but I don't buy
of the
it.
movie. I don't
And
know.
I like
Look,
Sleepless in Seattle, where they don't meet at all.
I don't know. I buy it okay. And it's based on a novel. So I assume in the novel she talks about him more, even when they're not like in contact. It's hard to do that in a movie.
Well, I'm not judging the novel, I'm judging the movie. And that was
You're
my big
right.
problem with their relationship. I
Listen,
don't really
man.
buy it. Like their chemistry is
What?
good, and they're beautiful people, but as characters, I didn't really get it.
I hear you. Listen, I like Hugh Grant in these movies. I think he's cool as
Same.
shit.
He is
Are you
awesome,
kidding
yeah.
me? When he fucking fights Colin Firth and then like the first thing he says, he's like bleeding on the ground. He just says, "Shall we go upstairs?" I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
What a baller move!"
No, he is the best. And his name's Daniel, so you have to love that. And he's a good Daniel.
Yeah,
This is
well,
this is
only the
on the good
only
side.
the only cool Daniels are fictional characters. So this is based on a book, all right, by Helen Fielding.
Mm.
She wrote it in the late 90s, and I remember it being a big zeitgeist book. You don't get those anymore. I was thinking about that while I was watching this movie. Like when I was younger, I feel like there were times a book would be such a big hit that you were like supposed to read it to keep up with the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
And this
no.
was one of that doesn't happen anymore. No one reads.
No, it's like adult, young adult YA
Yeah,
stuff. Is
I
what it
know.
is.
I
That's
know.
really all it is.
It's kind of sad and weird. Anyway, this the book was huge, especially in England. And so working title bought up the rights. I think they actually got a good deal on it because like they bought them before the movie before the book really hit.
Okay,
Um
that's cool. You said people were upset though that she was cast because she's
oh
a famous
yeah.
British character.
Yeah. The Brits really saw this as like a British phenomenon, Bridget
Hmm.
Jones's Diary. And so they were very confused why an American would be cast in the role. But you know what? It was sort of like Michael Keaton and Batman, where like when it was first announced, everyone was mad. And then the movie came out and it assuaged everyone's fears and they thought he was great.
Okay, I was wondering that. I was hoping it's crazy watching movies from the past now, like what like the actors were going through the same stuff that like we talk about today, like
Yeah,
it was still the culture. People were still alive, but I was a kid. I didn't think about it. But now I do. It's sort of crazy. Like, she probably had a lot to prove and then she came through. I was pretty proud of her.
right.
I think does a great job.
She does.
Shush the
Uh,
haters.
the other names that were considered, well, Toni Collette was actually offered the role, and
I don't
she
know about that.
it conflicted with a Broadway play she was doing, so she couldn't do it. Then we had Helena Bonham Carter, Kate Blanchett, Emily Watson, and then Rachel Weisz and Cameron Diaz were considered, but they were deemed too beautiful. God, I would love to see Cameron Diaz try to do a British accent.
I would love that too. I read that Renee gained weight for this role
She
both
did.
times.
That was another thing in the books. Like she was constantly talking about how overweight she is,
Oh wow.
and she was like dieting, the trying to diet and exercise, workout and shit. And so she gained 20 pounds for the role. And I remember like feeling like that was cool at the time. And now I watch the movie and it's like she's not overweight.
Imagine if
She's
she was
like,
20 pounds lighter.
I know she's gorgeous.
Right.
Dude, in that fucking bunny costume, she's
Mhm.
fucking slamming.
Slamming. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Renee Zellweger. I thought about watching some of her, like Chicago and
Yeah.
and Judy, her recent
Oh yeah,
Oscar
I
win.
forgot about that.
But maybe by
Uh
next week. But
yeah,
I'm a big fan. I watched her. What's the Empire Records?
yeah.
Oh, I fell in love when I watched that movie.
Yeah, that was nascent days of Renee. She got her start as an actress in Texas.
Wow.
She got cast
Oh
in
yeah, Texas Chainsaw.
yeah, and Dazed and Confused.
She's in Dazed and Confused.
Yes, yeah,
I did
small
not
role.
know this.
Hmm.
That's cool.
But by this point she had really taken off as an actress, and she was
Did she
a
win an
box
Oscar already?
office draw.
She's won two
No.
Oscars.
For what? Judy and what?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But she's obviously
Chicago?
been in Jerry Maguire at this point, right?
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, that was probably like her breakthrough role, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Um,
She had me at hello or whatever the first word I ever saw her say was. So I understand where Jerry's coming from.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh, Cold
this
Mountain.
Cold Mountain,
That's
of
the same year
course.
as the next Bridget Jones, 2004.
Okay,
Very
yeah.
impressive year.
What a year. Not as impressive as I will say Jim Broadbent's 2001.
What do we got?
I was looking at this. You know, her dad in this movie is Jim Broadbent. I happened to notice that Colin Firth was nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the BAFTAs
What about
for this
Hugh?
movie.
Hugh's better.
I know, but he was nominated.
Oh my goodness.
Firth was nominated for Supporting Actor at the BAFTAs, lost to Jim Broadbent in Moulin Rouge. All
Okay.
right. Then I was looking at the Oscars. He won Supporting Actor there too, but for a different movie.
We're talking about Jim Broadbent still.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that wild? For Iris.
Oh, I love that song.
So he was in Bridget Jones, Iris, and Moulin Rouge the same year.
Yeah, that's
Won
incredible.
won huge awards for two of the roles.
And the other was just a huge success.
Yeah,
Start of a franchise.
I
That's
know.
awesome. Covering all the quadrants. I guess there's only three. Quadrant means four, I believe.
Yeah,
Three of the four quadrants.
he was broad quadrants.
Well, Harry Potter's the other quadrant. He's just waiting to get cast. I think he's in like the fifth or sixth one. He
Is
comes
he?
in.
Who are you playing that?
He shows up as a couch. I remember that. He like
The
works at he's like Dumbledore's friend. He's like a couch, and then he transforms into Jim Broadbent. And we're like,
I,
oh
I
shit, it's
I
Jim
have no
Broadbent.
memory of
I'll
this.
look up what his name is.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. So this Helen Fielding, who wrote the book, she's got a screenplay credit on this, but they really assembled an all-star British writing crew to write this movie. It's
Okay.
three names: Her, Andrew Davies, who was best known for doing a lot of miniseries work, British miniseries work. He was the creator of the original House of Cards.
I didn't
He
know that
wrote
there was another version.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wrote Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth, which in the book Bridget Jones is obsessed with the Colin Firth Pride and Prejudice adaptation, but they decided not to bring that to the movie because it's weird that Colin Firth is in the movie.
She should have been obsessed with Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
That hadn't been a thing
Maybe in the
yet.
later movies, by 3 and 4, she'll talk about
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice and
We'll keep
zombies.
you posted.
Remember when they did that? They had like Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter. We used to
Yeah.
do like old stuff, but add
Yeah.
vampires to the
Hansel and
mix.
Gretel witch hunters as well.
True, I forgot. I forgot about that one. By the way,
Mhm.
Professor Horace Slughorn is who
Oh,
Jim Broadbent played.
Slughorn. Right. He was the Defense Against the Dark Arts. Or no.
I remember
Potions.
Dumbledore going to visit him and recruit him later.
Snape was made the Defense Against the Dark
He
Arts
replaces
teacher,
Snape.
and he replaces Snape.
Great call. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Andrew Davies, that's one. And then the other dude is Richard Curtis, who at this point had written Four Weddings and a Funeral and Notting Hill.
With Hugh
And
Grant. He's just a
yeah,
boy standing in front of a girl
that's
asking her
that's
to love
right.
him.
And then this movie pushed him over the edge. 2 years after this, he gets his directorial debut, Love Actually.
Love Actually, that's right. Did he do About Time? Is he the About Time guy?
He is.
Okay. Yeah, you don't like that
Don't
movie, do you?
Yeah, don't you love that movie?
I do love that movie.
Yeah,
Why don't
my
you?
dad does
I feel
too.
like I'm on the I don't want to say the right side of history, but the majority of people, I would say.
No,
I
I
think a lot of people like
understand.
that movie.
I mainly don't like it because it's such a bad movie.
Oh, that's a fair reason not to like
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Margot
yeah.
Robbie's in it for a little bit.
All
People
right.
don't really remember that, but she
I
is.
I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. So this comes out October 10th, 2001.
Okay.
It has a $25 million budget and it makes $334.2 million at the box office worldwide. Now the domestic receipts don't tell the whole story in these movies, so I had to look up the worldwide box office.
Mm-hmm.
So like in America, Bridget Jones's Diary was a modest hit. It came in at number 31. Between Along Came a Spider and Scary Movie 2. And
Our worst episode, according to P. Dot. Remember when he said that?
that's right, I do
Scary Movie
remember
2.
that.
I'll never forget that.
Why? I don't remember why. What was different about that
I think
episode?
because Scary Movie 1 was our best episode. So by comparison, Scary
Oh
Movie 2 was just our worst one,
boy, oh boy.
possibly.
All right, but look, worldwide, this was number 14 for the year.
Okay.
All
Why did
right,
they stop after 2? Does 2 not make money?
two did not make money in America, and that's what we really cared about at that time was
Oh, weird.
domestic
Now
grosses,
I don't think we'd care about that.
and we don't give a shit at all about that
Total
now.
gross, baby. Which
Yeah,
I think makes
yeah.
way more sense. Like,
I
why
mean,
back there were we doing that?
the first one was 31 in America, 14 worldwide. The second one came in at number 74 for the year in America,
Mm-hmm.
only made $40 million against a $50 million budget. So it was considered a disaster. But worldwide, it made $265.1 million, came in at number 16 for the year,
I don't get it.
74 in America, 16 worldwide.
I would just look at that number, the total number.
I know. But also, it should be noted, she didn't write another book for a little while.
Mm.
Like, I feel like she wrote these really close together. And then Bridget Jones's Baby, the third. Actually, you know what's fucking weird? I think they were out of order. Like, the third book is Mad About the Boy.
Okay.
And then the fourth
It
book's.
seems weird. This is the second one. Such a weird title for the second one. The Edge of Reason.
Well, I remember this book came out and got bad reviews. It was just like she rushed a second Bridget Jones novel and then people didn't like it.
Were there set
And
pieces in the book, like the movie?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she goes to prison and shit.
She goes skiing, all that stuff.
I think so. I remember, I never read the book, but I remember when it came out, people were like, the second Bridget Jones novel is fucking horrible. She ends up in a Thai prison. And I was like, really?
That
And then I
was
saw the
funny.
movie and I was like, I guess she does.
They sing
Jeez.
Madonna in the
Yeah.
prison. I sort of really
Yeah.
like that little section.
I hated that section. Honestly, I think the second movie's really bad.
It's pretty bad.
Uh
It might have been like a Sex in the City, one of those movies.
it reminded me of Sex and the City too.
Yeah, the worst one. Worst one
Because
ever.
they
Worst movie
send them
ever.
to what was it, Morocco in that movie or
I want to
something?
say you're right. That's a good job by you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just let's see him on the road. It's why
Why?
like I remember first of all, I saw both of these when they came out, and then I never saw the third or fourth movies because the second one was so bad. And watching the second one last night, I felt justified in that decision. I was
Maybe
like,
because of the
yeah,
podcast too.
that's possible.
You were doing that at
But
the time.
also I checked to see how far I was into the movie at one point,
Right.
and like nothing had really happened yet. And I was like, I thought I was really early on, and I was an hour in, and there were 40 minutes left, and I was like, what? There's nothing happens in this movie.
But it's
She
good it
just
was
makes
flying
poor
by.
decisions. That's true. Fair enough.
Because it'd be
I was
bad, like when you think
entertained.
like, oh, I must be an hour in. Do 25 minutes in, you're like, oh my god, that's like the even the worst.
You're right.
So props to the movie.
Props to the movie. All right, some Oscar award shit. Renee Zellweger is nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
That's very cool.
Yeah, she lost Best Actress to Halle Berry for Monsters Ball,
Okay.
and
She
at the
presented to
bat.
somebody. I forgot what she did. Oh, she did the James Bond thing, I believe, at the Oscars the other
Oh,
night.
really?
I
Oh,
think.
wow. I wonder if she was afraid Adrian Brody would come back up on the stage and make out with her.
She did a thing before the Oscars. She kissed him like outside the red carpet. She like got him back. It
Oh,
was like
that's
it was
cute.
like a thing. Yeah.
Mm. All right. At the BAFTAs, she was nominated for actress as well. She lost to Judy Dench for Iris, the late great Judy Dench. Firth, as mentioned, lost to Jim Broadbent. It was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and lost to Shrek. And
I do
it
like
was
these screenplays. Pretty fun
yeah,
dialogue.
and it was nominated for Best British Film and lost to Robert Altman's Gosford Park.
Is he
Also at
British,
the
Altman?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And that the Golden Globes, she lost. It lost Best Comedy slash Musical to Moulin Rouge, and she lost to Nicole Kidman for Moulin Rouge. Um, I hated Moulin Rouge.
She's singing and dancing in that?
Yeah, yeah,
I
she
got to check that
sure
out.
is.
That's really cool. I didn't know that was in her repertoire. Is that a word? I think.
It is.
So I gotta
Good
watch that.
job.
And then she copied
Oh,
her. She's like, I gotta do Chicago to really that's how you do it.
Chicago's way better than Moulin Rouge, and I don't
Well,
even
like that
love
won Best Picture,
Chicago.
so the Academy agreed, right?
Yes, they did.
They
All
got that
right.
one right.
All right. So let's talk about Bridget Jones's diary here.
All right.
Where do we start?
She's like single and what's his name offends her. That's when she starts writing in the diary, right?
Well, he doesn't offend her. He charms her.
No,
He
he like
says so.
I thought at the party he like talked
Oh,
shit
oh,
about
oh!
her.
I was already on Hugh Grant. Right. It starts at that party their parents are throwing
Darcy,
a
what's his name?
curry turkey dinner. I'm like, curry turkey dinner. What are we doing in
She
England?
starts both films that way. Like the next
Yeah.
film, she's like, I'm on my way to my mother's famous curry
But the
turkey dinner.
difference is I have my boyfriend now.
Exactly.
Mark Darcy.
So he's nice. I just didn't understand why they were together. Should have been with Daniel Cleaver.
He cheated on her.
I know. And he like made up the lie about Colin Firth about like he stole my fiance, but really he was the
Yeah,
opposite
that's
or
even
whatever.
worse.
That was crazy. I couldn't believe that. I feel
Yeah.
like you should never talk to this guy again. Who does that? And makes up like the reverse lie about it.
Well, I agree with you, Logan. And so the fact that she's like fooled by him again in the second movie, I'm like, oh, she's a moron.
Or it shows how good he is.
I guess.
I like the part where she was like, she asked him one question, which was dumb. It was just clear lead up for the retort for his retort, where she was like, "Hey, I bet you can't even find your way to your own asshole." And he was like, "I can find my way to my own asshole, and I know
And
my way
hers
to yours
too.
too."
No, no.
That was pretty funny. That guy's good. He's quick.
Yes.
That was hilarious. But
All
yeah.
right. So yeah, she's her mom's trying to set her up with Colin Firth at the party.
Mm-hmm.
And
And he wears
he's
like his mom's like sweaters and stuff. That's a bit with him. His mom makes
yes,
him clothes that he wears, like Ron
right.
Weasley. I thought he always gets sweaters from his mom.
He says some mean shit about her at the party, like right in front of her. He's a real jerk.
Well, it's like it's in front of her, but she's behind him. He didn't know.
I know, but he's like at a party. It's like in a small house,
Other people
and
could hear, even if she
he's
can't.
talking so loud.
I know. Dude, was it a thing where like the music cut out in the middle of his sentence?
I don't think
That'd be a
so.
funny bit that they do sometimes. Okay, yeah, I don't think that happened either.
It's a great bit.
She also has a creepy uncle that keeps touching her butt, not a real uncle.
Yeah.
I
At a
like that.
certain point,
Uncle Jeffrey.
yeah, that was very old fashioned. Like
The
a
creepy
woman
uncle.
now would be expected to say, "Hey, stop that."
Yeah, this is different. It's a
Yeah,
different time.
it's a different time. You just had to sort of deal with dudes touching your ass, I guess.
I think I'm gonna mention something else that seemed like an otherworldly time too, but that's
Well,
a setup to the characters.
there's a lot. I mean, social mores were so different back then. Like the fact that she's stressing that much over being in her 30s and not married, like that's not really a thing anymore.
I feel like people are still worried. You still only get one life. I feel like just because
Yeah,
you don't care about marriage, you like
but
you've written that off. Other people
is
don't.
but I don't know that everyone thinks of marriage as being this like essential part of life that they have to experience.
I sort of think so. I mean, like my parents had like a terrible divorce, and like everything in me has pointed to say don't get married, but that would still be cool. I would still like that. And I'm like, I should not want to. So I think if I want to, other people would do probably.
I don't know. You're down in Bama,
But I would never rush into anything just because.
the home of the Fighting Irish. No, wait.
Is
What's
that
the
a thing?
big team? No, no, no.
That's
Well,
Notre Dame, isn't it?
what? Yeah, what's Alabama's team?
The Crimson Tide.
The Crimson Tide.
Roll Tide, baby. Yeah. I don't know what that has to do with being married though. But
uh, I don't know. I'd maybe values are more traditional down there.
not to me. I don't care about I don't want to meet anybody from Alabama. That's like my thing.
So get out of there,
I mean, it's easier said than done, probably.
Logan. Move here. I will get you a job in the store where I work.
At the candy shop?
No, that's
Apply at the
near
candy shop.
not
Me and you can
50
we can wave
cents
at each
candy
other.
shop
Like,
bar.
Daniel,
Oh, I would actually love that.
make your list. I'm making my list here.
It'd be like I'm working at the Quick Stop and you're at RST Video.
Oh, what's that from?
Clerks.
Oh, my bad. They have two different shops. Oh, I forget he works at the other shop. The
Yeah.
other, yeah, my bad. True.
Um all right. So she has a job in this one
Oh yeah. Oh, another
as
thing, she says she keeps saying no to Hugh Grant. She'll be like, he's like, "Do you want to go up to my apartment?" And she's like, "No, I really can't do that." And then cut to her in his apartment. I feel like that's sending the wrong message to people. Like, no means yes. That was my takeaway
well,
from both of
there's a
those scenes.
lot. Yeah, there's a lot of weird consent shit in this movie. There's another scene where Hugh Grant tells her, "I'm taking you out tonight, and whether you like it or not."
Mm-hmm. I
And
feel like
then
women
like
like that though.
cut to them on at honestly they do,
They don't
and it's
want like to make
as a
choices.
as a man it's confusing. Don't say they don't want to make choices.
I
That's
mean,
not
it's true.
necessarily true.
They
But
like we're going to this place to eat right now. They don't want to be like,
not
where do you want to go to eat?
not all of
They'll
them,
be like,
but
ah.
they do like a little bit of forcefulness. I've found, and
Be careful
it's
though.
you got to be careful. There's a fine line.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Anyway, you go to dinner. Those two.
Hmm.
and he's charming as shit. They
Which one are we
fuck.
talking about still? Hugh Grant?
Hugh.
Okay.
Yeah, he's her boss. She works at
That's
like a
true.
publishing house.
Yeah.
The whole job situation in this movie is crazy to me.
She just gets
Like,
a job on TV randomly.
I know Bridget Jones. We're like supposed to feel bad for her. Like she has a negative self image, and she thinks of herself as sort of overweight and like she can't do anything right, and she's a mess.
But she's
But
so
like,
charming.
yeah, she's able to quit her job as like an assistant at a publishing house and immediately get a job as an on-air
Well, I
personality.
think she has that lined up beforehand. I think she goes to him like, I have this job and I'm quitting. And he's like, oh, you have to wait the 6 weeks. And she's like, no, I'm just going to leave. And she leaves.
No, I know, but I don't think her intention was to leave until like she found out he was cheating on her.
Right. It all happened very quickly. And her mom gets a similar job. Like her mom is suddenly on the TV
On the
too,
home
selling
shopping
jewelry.
network. Yeah, that
It's
doesn't
so easy
just
to be on
happen.
TV. Maybe in the UK it's easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's probably not. But they make it seem like it in this movie.
They really do. And so like she's like a hit on British television, and she's got fucking Hugh Grant and Colin Firth after her. And then I'll say in the second movie, all of a sudden Hugh Grant's also an on-air TV personality.
Right.
And he was just like a book editor in the first movie. Like, how did he get that job?
Charm. You see him on TV and you don't question it for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy belongs on TV. And he says like, I hate watching TV, but I belong on TV. I'm like, yeah, freaking do.
Also, like Bridget Jones is asked by the network in the second movie, like, your new job is you're just gonna like travel to exotic countries and eat and then
Right.
talk about it on television. And she's like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, that is the dream job.
You would
That
think
is
so, but Anthony Bourdain killed himself. So
all right. You had to bring up Anthony Bourdain killing himself.
I mean, you think like it's the dream job, hey, just hanging out, eating food on TV, but that was his job, and he freaking killed himself.
You know, he had a tough life.
She did
Everyone's
too.
got
She's
their
in her 30s
demons.
and she's fat and not married.
She's not fat.
I know, I'm just joking, but that's how she sees herself.
I
But she's
know.
unbelievably charming. This Bridget Jones, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sort
She
of get why she's how she gets on TV. It's crazy, but
I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. And to me, like I always thought the thing with Bridget Jones, like why she became such a popular character was she's so relatable to like regular women.
mhm.
She's not relatable. Like how many
They
women are on television?
well, no, you're right about that, but they really try. Like for some, I didn't understand why she put on the granny panties, but for some reason she does, and then like Colin or one of them finds the granny panties. I'm like, why'd you wear those? Why'd she actually wear them? It didn't make sense. Like when she was trying them on, I was like, oh, this is cute, whatever. But she actually wore them out, and then she's
Yeah.
like running through the snow in just her underwear. Like they really try to make her like the viewer, like the viewers sees it through her, which I mean you do, but she's unbelievably charming and beautiful and cool.
Yeah.
So sort of the opposite of what they're going for. I don't know.
Right. She lives by herself in a nice little flat. She watches, what was she watching?
I don't know. She has
Oh,
a go-to show.
Frasier. I love that. I was like, boy, she's just like on TV. She eats whatever she wants. She's got two guys who want to fuck her. She lives alone, no roommates. She watches Frasier, binges it. She's able to drink. She
She does drink a lot and
she's
smokes a
fuck.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a great life.
She has an alcohol problem. That's one of her things.
I don't know that she has an alcohol problem. She
She's
says
drinking
she
constantly.
she tracks her units of alcohol or whatever, but she seems to handle it. Like, is there ever a moment in this movie where she like feels too drunk?
I don't know. In the first movie, she gets pretty drunk, and she smokes a lot. She's trying to cut back on the cigarettes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a problem, I guess. But
Yeah.
you know, I smoked 20 cigarettes all post coitus.
What did that was that a week? She's keeping track of how many a week?
I don't know. The book is written as a diary, and all the entries start with like how much she's had to drink and how much many cigarettes. So I think it's a daily thing. But
All
um,
post coitus 20 a day?
they fuck 20 times in a day. Yeah,
That's not
that
real.
Hugh Grant can go. No, no,
She couldn't go 20
you know
times
what? It
even if
was
he
it
could.
was 2 days. I remember this because at one
10 a
point
day?
Hugh Grant says it's Thursday and the relationship just started on Tuesday.
So we're going Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They got up to
That's
20.
right.
All
Yeah,
right, that's fair. That's fair.
that makes more sense.
I mean, better than 20 a day or 10 a day. I can handle 6 or 7 a day more than that.
Yeah, I can't fuck 20 times a day. My
6 or
penis would
7's
fall off.
crazy. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think the most I've ever done is 4 or 5. And
wow.
and that was when I was like 19 or something. Like
Just a
yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Half man, half machine.
Yeah. Um all
Different
right.
women, I assume.
No, same woman.
Oh, that'd be funny. All
Same.
five different women.
No, the craziest thing I ever did was
I don't want to know the
three.
craziest thing.
No, I just mean like in terms of that. Like I remember one time I in one day I got a beach and had sex twice, and it was 3 different women.
In one day, 24-hour
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
That's crazy. Congratulations. I wish I could shake your hand right now.
I know. I feel that I'm bragging, and I'm fine with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And let me know.
You know my record in one day?
Tell me.
Just one woman
Well, but how many
shake
times?
my hand. Uh, I feel like no past three in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. That
That's
makes sense to
crazy.
me. No, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. You're
It's
like,
too
oh,
it's too much. Like you're sick of it after a while.
yeah. You don't even. It's not even enjoyable.
I agree.
Why'd you even do that much?
And you're just I don't she
You thought
was
she would enjoy it,
she
and she the whole
did.
time
She
was just like, "Oh, I hope he's enjoying it because this is miserable for me." You ever think about that? Like,
maybe.
what if you're just doing this stuff for each other? That's sad.
I think that happens a lot in relationships. I think you have sex because you're supposed to.
Damn, it's
I
pretty
know.
upsetting. Think about that, guys. Next time it's happening, like,
Yeah,
wow, I don't even like doing this, but maybe she does, and then she's thinking the same thing. So neither of you are enjoying yourselves.
that's right. You'd both rather be watching TV.
Keeping that TV hot, baby.
Yeah, yeah, all right. So what else happens in this movie? Oh, she's got a group of friends.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, one of them was Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, and we first meet her in a fucking
I
bathroom.
thought that was really cool too. Like, yeah, she
Wow,
spends most of her time in the bathroom.
she
Don't worry
just
about her.
haunts bathrooms. That's what this actress does, Shirley Henderson. Of course, and she has a gay friend who had a hit song in the '90s,
That's right. Tom.
Tom, and he's played by James Callis, aka Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. Shout
Very,
out there.
very excited to see Gaius Baltar in these films.
Is he actually
Um,
gay? Or is this a
I have
acting?
no idea actually.
Okay.
He's
Because
not.
Renee is acting British. I don't know what these people are doing.
That's another thing. I feel like maybe Helen Fielding is like doesn't really have a normal life, and that's why she doesn't really. That's why Bridget doesn't have a normal life because
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Maguire directed this movie. Okay, and she was not a well-known director at this time. She had done like commercial work and shit, but she was a director. And I read that Helen Fielding was friends with her. That's how she got the gig. Like the
Hmm.
character Shazza, her friend who like takes her to Thailand, who goes to Thailand with her in the novel. I mean, the
Yeah.
second movie, like that character is based on Sharon Maguire,
Hmm.
and now she's directing the movie. So like Helen Fielding has like a friend who's a director, And like, isn't that crazy? Like, you write a book, it becomes a hit, and she's like, "Well, can my friend direct it?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah, but she was a real director. It's not like she could direct it.
yeah." That's what I'm saying. Like, Bridget also has like this friend, but the guy's Baltar character like had a hit song in the '80s.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's a one hit wonder, like you're now you're friends with a pop star.
Well, ex-pop star.
Yeah, but still, how many friends of yours had big hit songs?
Well, definitely zero. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
considered a pop star if you have one hit song, by the way. I feel like pop star is like a next level.
So you're a one hit wonder, but
Yeah,
still,
one
like
hit
that's
wonder.
a thing. You know,
Sure.
if like I found out my friend was friends with Daniel Powter, the
Oh
fellow who
wow.
wrote "He Had a Bad Day,"
Right.
I would be like, that's insane.
Yeah, I gotta meet him. Best Daniel
Yeah.
around. Yeah, I agree. I like the part in the restaurant where they're like tapping on his shoulder, and he's like, I know the song. It was great. People loved it." And they're like, "You're like on our jacket."
Your chair is on my wife's jacket.
That was funny. I liked her friend group. They seemed cool.
It was very Sex in the City.
It was. Are these better than Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants? I think no.
No.
Is the first one better? I think I like Sisterhood more.
First one, no. The first Bridget Jones might be better than the
The
first
romance I
sister.
didn't buy. That was sort of my problem.
I know you
Colin
didn't.
Firth.
It's your main criticism, but I think the second Bridget Jones movie is much worse than the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants sequel.
Oh, for that was pretty good. I remember.
Yeah, it was
And this
okay.
was that was pretty good. And this was a two, I would say. One
I'm
territory.
close to a one.
I don't
Yeah,
think I'd do it. I'll save it for maybe three or four. We'll get there. I mean, they made four, so three might be good.
people. I think it's pretty widely said that the second one is the worst of the four.
That's exciting. And
Yeah.
people really like four, right?
Yeah, it's getting good
It's like
notices.
Matrix. Like it's like they're saying up as good as the first one.
Hey, should we do our 2001 list? I
Oh yeah,
forgot about that.
we forgot to do that.
Hmm.
I'll start with my number 10. Any honorable Y tu Mama Tambien, I'll say is my own. And Freddie Got Fingered. Two of the same quality, those films. 10 Training Day, 9 Lovely and Amazing, 8 Vanilla Sky, 7 this was a little lower, but I bumped it up to number 7 just because I wanted to. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I know you're not going to have that, so I wanted to give it its due. 6 The Royal Tenenbaums, 5 Ghost World, two of your favorites there. 4 Monsters Inc., 3 Ocean's 11, 2 AI, Artificial Intelligence, and 1 will probably match Wet Hot American Summer.
That's right. All right, I got honorable mentions: Vanilla Sky, The Deep End, Fat Girl, The Pledge, In the Bedroom, Baby Boy. All right.
Wow.
Um, and here's my top 10. Number 10, E2 Mama Tambien. Number 9, LIE. Number 8, The Man Who Wasn't There. Number 7, Lovely and Amazing. Number 6, 13 Conversations About One Thing.
Well,
Number 5, Ocean's 11. Number 4, Ghost World. Number 3, Mulholland Drive. Number 2, The Royal Tenenbaums. And number 1, Wet Hot American Summer.
great list. I would have seen Mulholland Drive. Seen a lot of people complaining they didn't do like a special David Lynch thing at the Oscars. People are
Yeah, but
upset
they
about
did it
that.
for Gene, right?
They had like Morgan Freeman, yeah, came out and was like, Gene Hackman was a great friend of mine. But he said it like Morgan Freeman, not like
But
Logan.
what if Gene Hackman murdered his whole family? We don't know.
I think we know that didn't happen. I think that
Our This
I,
could be like a Chris Benoit situation where we devoted an entire episode of Raw.
that's true, Daniel. I think
Yeah.
we've heard that he died first. We don't know exactly how things happened, but I think what I think happened is he died.
You think it's a Phil Hartman situation where the wife killed everybody?
This is a great theory. What I think happened is he died. I don't know how she died, but then I think just no one was around to feed the dog, and then the dog died. Is my theory, but I don't know
They
how
were
she
only
died.
dead for like a week. Dogs
It was like
can't
ten
live.
days. I mean, can a dog go 10 days without eating?
I would think
or
so.
drinking. It's a long time. Can a human?
Why didn't the dog eat them? You always
Great
hear
theory,
that.
Daniel. All right, I scrapped
Yeah.
my theory. My theory is false. The dog would have eaten them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened, but now I
I
feel
don't
gross
either.
for talking about them so much in this manner. But
All
that's a
right.
great job by you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What else do you want to talk about in Bridget Jones?
Her friends are cool. Uh, she has a diary. I like how it all comes up on like she'll be walking through the city and it's like,
I
yo,
don't like
Bridget,
this. I don't like
you
this.
can do it. You can do it.
Here's the thing. It's called Bridget Jones's Diary.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the diary doesn't actually come up in the plot much. It's just a narrative device.
Which I
And
like.
so, well, I'm fine with that, but I feel like they had trouble at times incorporating it into the movie.
Mm.
So at one point she's like walking by like a news ticker and it says like how many cigarettes she's had and shit. It's like they try to come up with like clever ways of like incorporating the dialogue. I mean the
Visually,
diary into the movie visually, yeah.
it's
And
cool.
it didn't really work for me.
That's fair. I appreciated it, but I of course get what you're saying. Uh,
Yeah.
but I thought it was kind of cool. I feel like that's really it on this movie. They like hang out. Who does she like more?
You know what's crazy is like he all right, so like Hugh Grant, there's two weird things. All right, talk to me about this.
Mm,
Hugh Grant is fucking Bridget Jones, right?
hmm.
Then she catches him cheating on her, finds out that she was actually with him after this girl. Like he'd been with her the whole time.
Right.
All right. And
What was going on there? She was like in on it. She like wanted him to hook up with her. She was like
I
in the
think
bathroom waiting on him to do it with her.
no, not to do it, but to like get her out. Like I think she was
But she
just
was
like,
aware of it.
yeah, I know.
Weird. She
Hey,
was she
listen,
seemed evil. I know I never know of women to be like in on this situation. Like
no, that happens all the time,
I mean,
buddy.
I was in
Um,
on a situation once, so I guess who am I to judge? But I don't see that a lot in movies.
I know, but she
Hate someone like
wasn't. She
that.
was evil because then, like at work, she's like, "I thought you said she was thin."
Oh, that was crazy. That
The
was fucked
fuck?
up. Who
Yeah,
says that?
that's an insane thing to say.
Yeah.
Um, but
Also,
anyway,
I thought it was weird. Why would he have said like, "Oh yeah, she's thin"? Like for him to like describe her was weird.
also she like at some point they get engaged
Hmm.
and it feels like it just happens like it happens again later because Colin Firth at the Christmas party, like his parents announce or like her parents announce like that he's now engaged to the Embeth David's character.
Right.
And it's I feel like in real life engagements are like a big thing where like a man has to like plan to ask a girl and then like will you marry me and then it's a big conversation. I in the movie it just feels like people turn up engaged.
It's true. I felt the same thing. And then if there's a storyline where the parents are redoing their vows. I forget what movie that's in. And at the end we cut to a wedding, and I was confused by whose wedding it is. Then they have to like tell us, so, oh, this was the parents thing. I thought that Bridget Jones got married at a certain point.
No,
I was
no,
pretty confused.
I knew it was the parents wedding because everything was violet and
Yeah,
that was part
I
of the
realized that. I
plans.
was like, oh yeah, they set that up early on. My
um
mistake. That was
but
a meat problem.
that was the second movie. In the first movie the parents are split up and she's like fucking this
Oh, and she
home
comes
shopping
back at the
host
end.
and he's like, I need to think about it. And I was like, good for you, motherfucker, good for you. She left you for another man. She's just been fucking someone for months. Don't take her back so easily. And then he's like, I was kidding, you dolt,
He
I
was
love
purple in
you.
person.
I
That was
mean,
funny.
how does he take her back so easily?
Love.
She seems awful to me.
I think you're old. You probably envisioned the rest of your life was going to be with that person. You're comfortable. You just want that person back. You don't care. That's
All
your
right.
person. You want to be with them.
I hope he asks her, like, whose dick tasted better, me or the guy
I
you're
think he's
with
gonna try to
last
never
week?
think about that ever
I
again.
mean, what the fuck?
That's just who he is. He doesn't care.
What a cuck.
I
He's
know,
like
but he's not
Ruby Frankie's husband.
true. Yeah. He'll just take her right back. Did he really take her back? She's in
No,
jail. He didn't take her
no, no,
back.
no.
He
He
just still
didn't,
loves
but
her.
he
He just
says he would. Yeah.
fucking nuts. What does he talk to his kids?
Um, I
Is he
think
like,
so.
sorry guys, like I know I dropped the ball
Yes,
there,
yeah. He
but
says I was the last line of defense. All right,
I
look,
hope we can be
that's a hey,
friends.
I'm watching here
Oh yeah,
conversation.
oh yeah.
All right, where
And
are
then if
we?
it comes up where I can't get their names mixed up. Colin Firth. Who do they? Should we call them their character names? One of them's
Mark
Mark,
Darcy and
Mark and
Daniel
Daniel.
Cleaver.
Yeah, Mark finds the diary and we think gets really mad. He tramps off through the snow. Tromps off. I don't know what I'm trying to say. He walks off through the snow and she's like, Mark, Mark. And he like
Why didn't he
walks.
respond to
I
that?
don't know. That was so stupid when we
That's the thing.
realized.
Like when she catches up to him and he's like, I was buying you a new diary for a new
Then
beginning because you
say,
don't
I'll
hate
be
me anymore.
right back.
Exactly, exactly. I
Don't
got something
worry.
going on here.
Yeah.
Um,
He just keeps his back turned. Maybe he didn't hear. The snow is falling too loud.
listen, if she gets fucking pneumonia running through the snow in her pants,
That was her
then
fault. She should have put on pants.
no, that's on him.
She couldn't take 2 seconds to put on pants.
I know.
That was
You're
nuts.
totally
Who
right.
does that? That was the dumbest decision
She
of the
took two
movie.
seconds to put shoes on.
And like a trench coat or a robe or something.
Yeah.
She's like wearing something. That was so stupid. But yeah, she catches up and he's like, I read your diary and I'm getting you a new one. And then they kiss or something. That's the end of the movie. They're together. It's very happy.
It's a nice movie. I was honestly I liked it more than I remembered liking it. And
That's cute. I like the
I was
script. Very sharp script.
yeah. I was sort of close to a 4, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 3 too, but I'd go 4 before 3, and I wouldn't blink twice about it. Or 4 before 2, I mean.
I knew what you meant, yeah.
Yeah.
MVP Renee Zellweger.
Absolutely. Runner up though, gotta be Hugh Grant. Anytime he's on screen, the movie is like at a different frequency, basically.
I'm with you. I'm with you. LVP Bridget's mom. Fuck that
Really?
lady.
Gemma
Yeah.
Jones? I like her.
Yeah. No, thank
I
you.
might go with creepy uncle.
Well, that's fair. I just thought the mom was like an important role and I was never on her side. And it was too
So the
broad. Like,
character,
what
not
was
the
that
actor.
scene? But the character, the performance was too broad. Also, what was the fucking scene
That's the dad.
where her mom? Shut up. The mom was like, like presenting how to use this like egg device,
Oh yeah, and it was like a
and then
dick,
but yeah, it was like a dick joke.
and it like came all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. Watch out for the runoff.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what that was. Was she an
I
inventor?
hate it. That was the worst moment in the movie. No, I think she's like just like a saleswoman.
Oh, right, of course, because she goes on the TV. Yeah, no, you're actually right, because this is the plot. Is that this movie? That's this
Yeah.
movie? I'll go her for this movie too. I really didn't like that. And yeah, the fact that the dad just I mean, I got why he did it. He just loves her, but that's pretty pathetic.
I
Um,
mean, he had the indignity of going to that party where like she's there with the dude and she's like ripping on him from
oh
afar. Well,
man.
like Bridget goes and finds him. He's sitting on this weird mushroom and he's like crying. Like, how do you get over something? It's fucked.
But
You think Jim Broadbent can't get another lady?
it might, maybe not. But when he's crying, he's probably just thinking, I just want her back so bad. You know,
She's over there with another dude.
I know, but he's not thinking like, how do I recover from this and get over it? He's just thinking, I want her back. So when she comes back, he's like, this is everything I've ever wanted.
What a loser.
It's sad, but
It makes me like
it's a
him
thing that
less.
happens. He did it.
All right.
Should he have a chip on his shoulder in the next movie? Like, keep bringing it up. Like, well, you did head off to the TV guy for months. So,
He should use it against her all the time.
Like he's always like looking at other girls walk by, and she's like, "Hey," hitting him, and he's like, "Well, you, I feel like this is, I can do whatever I want now. I can look
Exactly.
at who I'm just looking. You were off for
Hmm.
months. That should be a thing. Maybe in the next movies, we'll
Yeah, he
call our
like
shot. That'll be a bit
he
in the
goes for
next movies.
anal, and she's like, "What? What's to get away from there?" And he's like, "Did you do it with that other guy? Remember that guy?"
I bet you did.
Yeah.
He seems like the type.
All right.
I
Move
see
on to
the
the
I see his spray tan all over there because he had like a
yeah.
spray tan.
I know, just like our president. Um, let's move on to the second movie.
Okay.
It's different director. I wonder what happened with Sharon Maguire. She did end up following Bridget Jones with a film called I think Incendiaries, which was like
I thought it was called
someone
Incendiaries.
no, very good. It was like an Iraq war kind of a thing, and I'm pretty sure it like tanked really badly
Oh
and
no.
got bad reviews, even though it had like a good cast. So,
That was
she
Sharon Maguire you're talking about?
what?
You're talking about Sharon Maguire? That's why she's
Oh,
not back?
sorry, I thought you said Jerry Maguire.
No, 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 no.
um, yeah, that's why she's not back, but she comes back, I think, for the third one.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
the director of this second movie is called Beeben Kidron.
Yeah,
Just
one
a
of the more
crazy
fascinating
name.
names.
Yeah, the only thing I'm familiar with from her,
Yeah, I bet it's a woman.
yeah, it is to Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, which was like sort of a minor hit in the 90s.
Okay.
Um, she she's married to the guy that wrote Billy Elliot. How about that? Who also wrote
Okay.
Cats? All right. Anyway, this comes out December 8th, 2004, on a budget of $50 million. It makes 265.1 million worldwide, only 40 of which happened in America. It's got the same three writers, and they've added a fourth writer to their team. It's Adam Brooks, who was a rom com guy. He later goes on to write and direct Definitely Maybe with Ryan Reynolds, which I've seen more than
Is that
once.
Rachel Weisz? Who's in that? Oh, Jennifer Garner?
I want to say Elizabeth Banks.
Oh my God. What? I thought it was a brunette for sure.
Well,
All
I
right.
think it's got more than one person. It's like he's like telling his daughter the story. It's
Oh,
like
you
how
don't know. It's the
you
notebook.
don't you yeah it or How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't know
Rachel Weisz
which
is one of them. Abigail Breslin's the daughter. So it's between,
is
who's it between?
here. Elizabeth Banks is in it.
Weird.
It's between Elizabeth Banks, Rachel Weisz, and Isla Fisher.
There's three of them.
Yeah, yeah,
A blonde, a brunette, and a red. Way to go.
yeah.
That's
Nailing
awesome.
it,
I gotta
Reynolds.
watch that. That sounds pretty cool.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I remember watching it after a wedding.
That seems like a good one to watch.
Yeah, yeah, it was perfect
I
for
think
that.
I read your review, like it did the trick or something, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Wow, great job remembering my letterbox reviews.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of letterbox, I want to thank William Anastasio on the podcast, on the main show
What do you
for
do?
he I when I was in New York, this
Oh,
guy,
oh,
longtime listener William Anastasio, he dropped by the store where I work and like left me a letterbox hat. It's right here. And it was like he left me a little note. It was like a token of appreciation for all the years. I was like,
that's
wow,
incredible.
he's
Yeah, but you weren't
amazing.
there. I bet he
I
was so
know.
sad when he got there. Like, oh shit.
No, no. He like texted me when he was going, and I was like, I'm not gonna be there. I'm in New
It
York.
seemed
Yeah.
to me, I thought he might surprise you because he asked me if you were like the right location. I was like, oh, he was probably surprising him.
Well, he wanted to get to the right store to drop off the
But
hat.
I thought he was asking me because he didn't want to ask you. Like he didn't want you to know he was coming.
Oh, I don't know.
But
Maybe he
then
didn't
if
want to bother me because I was in New York.
it may be, well, this was weeks ago before he was going.
Oh, then I don't fucking
Like when
know.
he was getting the hat, I think.
Anyway, what are we
Anyway,
doing?
we're talking about the edge of reason.
The what does it mean?
She's on the edge of reason.
Explain to me the title.
I literally can't.
Nor
I
can
kept
I.
waiting for it to make sense,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't.
All right. So she's, I guess, still a TV personnel.
Yep. She's doing even
She's
more stuff. They love that bit where her butt goes on the camera. It happens in the first movie, and then here it happens on the
the
parachute bit.
firehouse.
Yep.
Oh, there's the firehouse bit. That's in the first
That's the
movie,
first
right?
movie. And
And
then,
then in this one, she lands in a pig pen.
yeah, the parachute landing right on the
Mm.
camera. Crazy they got that shot. That's a very impressive shot. Good.
Oh yeah, well hey, that's what they spent the extra budget on. They had to
I mean, for
double
the
the
local,
budget.
I mean, for the like the TV crew, like they have one shot, the person
Oh,
lands on the camera. What are the odds of that?
good point.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. So she's with Mark, right?
Yeah, they're dating and she's trying to rush him to marriage and he's stressed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she at the job, Hugh Grant gets hired to work with her. And I was like, that's fucked up because she had this big moment in the first movie where she quits her job and she's like, I wouldn't work with you if you were, I don't know, she says something about Saddam Hussein. Anyway, um,
Oh yeah.
uh, she quits the job so as not to be near Hugh Grant, even though she was offered a promotion. And now at her new job, there's Hugh Grant again.
That's right.
This is the kind of movie like I hate the things that happen in it, and I think it makes me like the first movie less, or
Really? I didn't have
or
that.
it makes the first movie less satisfying to me.
Really?
You know what I mean? You know how we were talking with Gladiator 2,
Yeah.
where it's like
He like cheated
at
on
the
his
end.
wife and his
No, no, no.
kid.
I'm saying at the end of the first Gladiator, they really make it seem like he like saved the culture over there.
Yeah, then a reset back
And
to the
then and
evil.
right, and then like we have like evil dictators like 2 years later in Gladiator 2, and it's like, oh, so like it diminishes his accomplishment. And
Absolutely.
now in Bridget Jones, I really like where we leave things. Like she fucking gets her comeuppance on Hugh Grant. She gets together with Mark Darcy. Like she's got these great friends, a great job. Like we really leave her in a nice place. Like I sort of wish it's just happily ever after. And then we see like Bridget Jones immediately in this movie, just like tanking her relationship, getting brought in by fucking Hugh Grant again, going to a Thai prison. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
I mean, all that other stuff, fair. But I thought it made sense I mean, she would still be on TV. That obviously makes sense. And he is just so charming that I think he would obviously end up on TV at some point.
But
I
how does
never
that
thought twice
happen?
about that.
He was a book editor. Like,
How did she end up on TV? She just fucking auditioned and got a job.
I don't
I'm sure his way made
understand
more sense.
how television works in England.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how you can just end up on TV. There's like 8 characters in this movie, and like 3 of them end up as TV stars.
You're right. You're right. Don't think about it again. What if in the next one there's even more?
Yeah,
Mark
all of
Darcy's on
the
TV.
gay guys on TV. Mark Darcy's hosting a law show.
He's on Blue
He's up
Bloods,
Blue Bloods.
whatever their
That's
equivalent
not a
is.
law show. That's a cop show.
Oh yeah, my bad. I thought that was a dinner show.
Well, it's true. Pass the potatoes.
I
Um, I read
like. Can I
there.
tell you my favorite? Oh, go
It
ahead.
just ended after like 12
No,
seasons or whatever, and I read that they're spinning it off. Donnie Wahlberg's getting a spin off of Blue Bloods.
was his dad Tom Selleck?
I
Not Tom
believe
Selleck.
so.
Was it Tom
I
Selleck?
believe.
Was that his
Yeah.
dad? Okay. Do they have a grandpa?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay.
generations
I
of
know.
cops
That's
in
why
the
I want to
family.
know who plays him. Does Donnie have a
I
son?
I think probably Donnie has a son.
Okay. What do you mean you think you don't watch? I thought that you watched the
I've
show.
never watched Blue Bloods, but
Oh, you just get the
my
recap from your
my
friend.
friend Gallagher, he keeps me up on it, and I like when he sends me. Anytime they say "pass the potatoes," which is one of the catchphrases, yeah, every episode ends with them at dinner together, and someone needs to pass the potatoes. He sends me a clip of that.
Why they only know how to make potatoes? Why are they eating that so often? Or
I
every
don't
episode,
I
pass
don't
the
it
potatoes.
looks like there's a lot of food on the table, but for some reason very frequently someone's asking someone else to pass the potatoes.
You can do a lot with them. You can mash them. You can do a baked potato in the oven. You can make some fries out of it. You
No?
know, cut them real thin, make some chips. Try to do that way. You ever do smashed potatoes? Like you mash them, but it's not
Sure.
fully mashed. It's called
Yeah.
smashed. That's sort of the way to go, honestly.
No.
I like that.
I want them mashed as fuck.
I mean, there's obviously value in a great mashed potato, but I think I'd opt for smashed if I had the choice.
Man, last time I was at a steakhouse, I got a baked potato, like a loaded baked potato. That shit was good. I think about it like daily.
That
Like
chili,
once a day, I'm like, remember that potato I had
you gotta get chili.
on a baked potato?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It seems like you're drowning out the appeal of the potato.
You don't have to get that much. Just get a little taste of it,
Okay,
like it's like a sauce, like you're dipping it, maybe.
fair enough.
Like, but I like it. But my favorite joke of the film. So Mark, he's like working with.
Bridget joke, the edge of region. Go ahead.
Becky is the new girl that's with Mark. He's like his new sexy coworker, Rebecca, Becky. And oh, but I knew her by the way.
Oh yeah, I
I forgot what
recognize
she
her
was
too.
from.
Jacinda Barrett. She
Poseidon.
I know her from the movie The Last Kiss.
What's that?
It's like Zach Braff and Rachel Bilson, and I think he cheats on one of them with the other one.
It's pretty good. Way to go,
Yeah.
Zach Braff.
Yeah, great work, Zach Braff. I by the way on Letterboxd, my review of The Last Kiss, I believe might be the top review.
What do we got? You remember it?
No.
Oh, you can pull it up if you want to. That's a Taylor Swift song, "Last Kiss,"
Is it? It's also a Pearl Jam song.
from "Speak Now," I believe. Is that really? Oh, "Last Kiss," the of course. Well, that's like a cover, right, of like an older
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
But the best
All
joke
right,
is
here
she.
it is. I've got the
Yeah.
number 2 review.
Okay.
All right. Shrill, interminable emo nonsense. At one point, Zach Braff and Rachel Bilson fuck against an American Idiot poster, which I think is a pretty apt visual metaphor for 2006.
Wow. I wish I was around doing stuff. I was 8.
I love the top review. This deserves to be ahead of my review. It says Zach Braff calls his pregnant girlfriend Babe at least 5 times. I downloaded the screenplay. He improvised it.
Come on, babe. Oh, man, that's funny. She she shows up to Mark's place, Bridget, and she knocks on the door, and Becky opens the door, and she goes, "Bridget Jones," and then Bridget Jones goes, "That's my name," or she says like, "I'm Bridget Jones," or something like that. But like she obviously just meant like, hey Bridget." But that was so
Yeah.
funny to me. Bridget Jones, that's me.
That's her romantic rival in the film. And then it turns out that she's gay and in love with Bridget.
Oh, that was a fun twist. I forgot about that. Yeah. Did she kiss her? I feel like she like that was
Yeah,
an assault.
they have a lesbian kiss at the end.
Yeah. But non-consensual it didn't seem like Bridget was too into that. Um is this real? Daniel shows up. He says he is in shag therapy. Was he actually in shag therapy?
Definitely not.
He was just lying?
I would think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But we hang out. By the way, there was a lot of Madonna stuff. Did you catch earlier in the movie when they went to trivia? One of the questions, like the final
Yeah.
question, was what's Madonna's first single, and then later they
Yeah.
sing "Like a Virgin."
She guesses Lucky Star, but she's wrong. The answer is Holiday.
I liked how they did that though. She like her internal monologue. She was like, "Everybody thinks it's this, but it's actually this," and so she guessed what she thought, but she was wrong. That
That's
sucked. And
right.
then like her rival got it right, Becky. She's like, well, the one who's in love with her actually. I enjoyed that little bit. But the thing is, she wants to get engaged to what's his face. He like proposes, "Hey, let's go. Why don't we go on a ski trip?" But she thought he was gonna
Oh
propose
yeah,
marriage.
I hated all the set pieces in this movie. Like we never calmed down. Like just let him. I liked in the first movie spending time at the bar or like in
with their
Bridget's
friends. I feel like we don't see
flat.
the friends in this movie.
Well, we do, but like it's like one of them goes to Thailand with her and
Oh yeah, I
like
forgot she's there for
gets
that.
like fucking duped by a guy who's like,
Shit, that character is clearly just there because we had to introduce another character,
that's
and
right.
so she that was super lame to me.
Yeah. And
But
she does
whatever.
mushrooms
She did do
in
mushrooms.
in the ocean.
And there's a part where she thinks she's pregnant, goes to like a ski resort, gets a pregnancy test. Uh,
I hated the scene where she gets the pregnancy test and she has to be like, "Oh, I sprechen the baby." I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah, I didn't
You know,
understand that.
you could just say pregnant. Like people know the word pregnant.
Well, it seemed like
Um,
they didn't, which was super stupid.
it was really stupid. But anyway, I did like the scene where she and like Colin Firth walks in on her like using the pregnancy test, and he gets excited at first, and then they start arguing like
Mhm.
before the results even come in.
Yeah. Was she
That
pregnant?
was no.
I feel like I don't even know. But she has to be. Like the next one, she has a baby. I thought we were leading somewhere, but then we don't. Is she
I
pregnant at the
assume
end?
I would think we were going to deal with the pregnancy in the next one.
You're right. Oh, this is the one where they renew their vows. I sort of thought that was the first. Oh no, the first movie she's like cheating on the dad.
Yeah, and then she just like turns up at the end on Christmas.
Of
But
course.
yeah, this one they're just happy together even though she's awful.
Yeah. Well, she throws nice dinners.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about in the first movie?
Who?
The fight.
Yeah, in the fountain.
Yeah, no, that's in the second movie.
What fight in the first movie?
They have a big fight. They like go through the window of that restaurant.
Oh yeah,
They fight on the street. It's kind of a great scene.
I agree.
It's this big awkward fight. It goes on for a really long time, and it really feels like two guys like having it out that like have been like wanting to fight each other forever. And
They have great chemistry, the two guys together too.
yeah, agreed. Like it you could tell like it feels like they used to be friends. And
And they're like the top UK sexy actors, right? These are like the two top guys. They're probably like in a cool little
yeah,
rivalry. It's like
Hugh
Pacino and De Niro.
yeah, and Hugh Grant is like number one like CAD division, and he's number one like romantic division.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. There is a sort of distinction between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they both in love actually?
Probably.
I believe
Everyone's in
they
love
are.
actually. Um, but I hated that they go back to that well in the second one. Like
It's a fountain, not a
it's
well.
like an even shut up. There's an even sillier fight in the second one, and it's just I don't know. It felt like trying to recapture the magic of something that it was never gonna work.
That's fair. But there's a part in Spider-Man 2 where Spider-Man goes in another burning building. Like in the first movie, he does it and he fights the Green Goblin in the burning building. Remember, he's like throwing the little pumpkins at him.
Yeah,
And then in the second movie, he goes in a burning building and he just like comes out with a kid. It's like a nice moment where he's getting his powers back, you know?
yeah.
And I was always like, why did they have to redo a burning like that's in the first movie? And then I sort of got over it. I think you'll get over it. You'll be like, I don't care that they fought in the second
No,
Bridget Jones
I
movie.
think the second movie's bad,
I
and
agree.
that's just another thing. Like so much of it is just trying to make it bigger and broader than the first one, and uh the one broad set piece it stands out in the first movie is the fight. Like it's like it doesn't. I like the moment James Callis goes into the restaurant and he's like, "There's a fight happening," and then
Mm-hmm.
like people come outside and look. It's like this bit of silliness in a movie that's generally pretty grounded,
Right.
and whereas in this movie it's just like more silliness in a movie where she's already sung like a virgin in a Thai prison. And
I know it was
and
stupid, but I sort of liked that part.
and you know,
It was silly.
I hated it.
I
I
know.
like it was
They set you
I
up immediately though. It's with they set the movie starts with her like skydiving. You're immediately like, oh, we're off the rails.
yeah, I
So
don't like
I think
it.
it prepped me. I didn't either, but it like prepped me. I was in. Didn't take me off
I don't
guard.
know. It didn't give me anything to hang on to. I really don't think that she should have broken up with Mark Darcy for any significant amount of time in
Yeah,
this
I
movie.
hated that part. Why? I didn't
I
even know why she did that.
yeah, I think it makes damages their relationship. And honestly, she's just like her fucking mom. Like if I'm Mark
Mm,
Darcy the whole time, I'm gonna be like, you would have fucked Daniel Cleaver. Like
yeah.
after we got together, I was moving to New York for an exciting new job. I quit the job before we even started dating just so I could be back in England to be with you. All right? I made that sacrifice. Everything else was in your head. I was never interested in this girl. She was interested in you. I you know,
She didn't
I
know.
you're just this insecure twit. And then like
She is pretty insecure.
and then in Thailand, like in our relationship, after I did all of that for you, you would have fucked that guy who fucked my ex-wife.
How do we know she would have?
If she would have, if that fucking Thai prostitute never walked in, they would have fucked.
Oh no, you're right. I forgot about that. That was another case where she's like, "No, I don't want to go up." Cut to her up in his room with him.
Yeah.
That was a bad job by him. If he know, he's got to
And
do scheduling better.
and it'd be one thing if she was still on mushrooms and he was like taking advantage of it or whatever. But
Yeah,
like they make pains to tell you, like they show them out at dinner together after that, and she's like, I'm embarrassed, I'm sober now. And it's like she was just gonna fuck him.
yeah. So this whole, I wasn't into this relationship to begin with, but now going forward, it's hard to like be supportive of this when it's
Exactly.
fake.
That's what I'm saying. I love their relationship at the end of the first movie. I want them to end up together. I'm rooting for them. And now after the events of the second movie, it just all feels damaged. I don't know
Yeah,
how you get through something like this. I think her parents should break up. She and Mark Darcy should break up, and everyone should just start over.
I agree with this. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know that, so he's never going to have to think about it, but she knows it and we know it. So as viewers, we can't fully be
He
on board with
knows
this
it.
relationship. He knows that that she was going to hook up with him.
Yes.
How does he know that?
Because he when he visits her in the Thai prison, he says that like because he has like evidence of like what was going on,
That
like
he
how
was
she ended up
there.
there, and that she was in his hotel room.
And he says like I don't care about your sex life or whatever. And
Yeah,
then it's revealed later
exactly.
on that he does care about her and he
Yeah,
did everything to get her out. Right. Well, that has me intrigued for the next film then, right? What's the fallout
I
of
think
all of
we
this?
ignored it completely.
I think you're absolutely, especially the time jump that happens. We're gonna jump
Yeah,
forward 11 years, and we're I don't think we're gonna mention this.
I
Uh,
know.
I do like how we set up each movie. Like we can just have her talk to us and tell us like what's been going on between then and now.
Well,
It's
that's
pretty
the
easy.
strength of the diary as the
Yeah,
narrative device. Yeah,
I'm sort of on board with it, but
I'm looking forward to where we go. Especially the director of the first one coming back to do the third one.
yeah, that's cool.
But um, I don't. To me, like the second one's a huge misstep in this franchise.
I agree. I don't want to go one though. I didn't feel one throughout. The
I'm gonna go one.
script stayed sharp enough for me. This is the one where he says like, "I know where her arsehole is." That's pretty good. Uh, and then we do the fight. We get home. She's like, "Mark, I love you." Becky's gay, and then we do the vows. Then she catches the flowers, which means she's next up in line. You know what
Yeah,
that means? You ever catch the flowers?
no,
Well, I guess
the
that's a woman
bouquet.
thing.
Yeah. I liked in the first movie at the end when the engagement is announced and she just says, like when he says like I'm moving to New York at the party, she says no.
No, we're losing our top
Yeah.
guy. That was
That's
hilarious. That
great.
was definitely one of the better moments.
Yeah. All right, who's the MVP of this one?
Renee Zellweger.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right, who's the LVP?
It's a good question. I don't know. Who is it? Because I thought that the instinct is to go with the new woman.
I no, but she's fine. I
Yeah.
think it's the friend that she
Oh,
goes.
great pick.
Yeah, Shaza, who she goes to Thailand with.
Why did she get the bump of the
I don't
friends? Like,
I don't
why that
know.
one? Why
I
not
don't know.
Shirley
She's
Henderson?
honestly the least interesting of the friends.
I agree. The other one, he could have been like getting spotted like by a bunch of people, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you were
Yeah, that
famous."
would have been fun. Maybe he's like really big in Thailand.
Great call. That actually would have
Right?
been
That would
good
be a good bit.
for her going there. It didn't make sense. And when she popped up, I like almost didn't even remember her. I was like, "Wait, is she one of the friends?" Like, and then I quickly realized, but
Hmm.
it seemed weird. I liked her woman at work, Perpetua. Was that the one she worked with,
Oh, that's the
or
jerk.
is that one of
That's
her other
isn't that in
friends?
the first movie?
Oh yeah, I'm on the first movie's IMDb. My bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked her though, Felicity
No, I
Montez,
did too. I liked the whole work setup in that movie.
Mr. Tits Pervert, Mr. Fitz
Yeah,
Herbert.
I like the moment where she has to introduce him at an event, and like her brain just keeps saying
Tits
tits
pervert, tits
pervert, tits
pervert, tits
pervert,
pervert.
and she has to like correct herself enough to say Fitzherbert out loud. It's good.
Yeah, that was funny. And that actor was good too. And he kept having to like look down at her boobs, so he would just be like, "All right, Bridget," like looking down at her chest the whole time.
Yeah.
Very funny. Man, the third one's so good compared to the second one, huh?
What?
The or the first one is they're like really on different leagues, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
afterwards. Now that you
big
think about it,
time.
but I'll go two for the second one.
Okay,
Did we get any comments? I don't believe so. I don't think anyone cares about Bridget
that's
Jones.
sad. That's sad. Like, come on, we got a lot of British listeners. You guys don't care?
Do we? I have a question for the
Yeah.
listeners. Um, Apostrophes when it comes to the S.
Oh God.
Does it just go after the S? Because on Bridget Jones's diary, they go Bridget Jones apostrophe S. And when I was writing it at the top of my notes, I wrote Bridget Jones apostrophe and then diary. I didn't add that second apostrophe. So I want to ask our listeners, would you add a second apostrophe or add
Owners.
a second
No,
S?
this is just a grammar question. I can answer it.
Okay, I did ask you and you did answer it, but I want to ask more people.
Okay. It's when it's just the S and the apostrophe, it's like it's sort of something that's a part of you, like Bridget Jones's haircut or something, like whatever. But like
You don't own the
ownership,
haircut?
you put another S.
Okay. So Bridget Jones's diary, add the second S. Never knew that.
I hope
Thank you,
I didn't sound
Daniel.
like a moron just now. I used to tutor people in English, and
Well,
like
that's why
I've
I'm
lost.
asking because I don't know. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
So let me
Anyway,
know.
but you're acting like it's something you've never seen before.
Well, I just thought that was a rule, like I before E, except after C. I thought it was a rule, like the apostrophe just goes after the S. You don't need an S
Okay.
after the apostrophe.
All right. What are we doing on the Patreon this week?
What are we doing? I believe we're doing he's Eras tour.
Yeah. When do I have to watch that?
Uh, I think by Friday or Monday.
Let's do Monday.
All right. So on Monday
Uh,
we'll do that in Traders.
Okay, and we'll have the Buffy show for you. The big episodes this week. Orpheus on the angel side, lies my parents told me. On the Buffy side,
Is that Thursday?
that'll be Thursday. Yeah,
So
and
Friday, can we rank 2024?
sure.
Okay. So
Uh,
next this week we just have Buffy and that.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, we've got next week on the show, Bridget Jones's baby and Bridget Jones mad about the boy. And I noticed that that shitty new animated Lord of the Rings movie is streaming, I think on Max.
Yay.
So
That's very
we'll
exciting.
be covering that soon.
Yeah.
Uh, all right,
Rohirrim, something about that.
all right. Logan,
Yes. That's my
I
British
like
accent.
you just the way you are.